Hold your horses, pretty boy. Did you really think that you could take your fancily dressed self into that tavern, walking all about town as if you're one of the people, and no one would bat an eye? Did you really think that? Come on now. Everyone noticed you. You stick out like a fox in a rooster pen. A chicken pen? I don't care what it's called. Listen. You came here probably thinking that you were just going to strut around town and no one would give you any trouble. And I'm your wake-up call. 'Cause nobles like you, you're my favorite targets. And especially when they're so naive and sheltered and can't even fathom something happening to them. How could I resist? Especially when you're wearing all of that silk, that jewelry. I mean, you didn't even try to hide your wealth, just flaunting it all about. What do you mean? This is you trying to blend in with the common folk? Wow. A truly valiant attempt. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Congratulations! You're about to become part of the legend of the Red Fox. Why are you raising your eyebrow? Don't act like you don't know who I am. Every single bard in every single tavern from here to Wisteria knows who I am. Ugh. Are you really this sheltered? Have you lived under a rock your entire life? Pretty fancy rock at that. But doesn't even feel right introducing myself. But for your information, sir, I am the Red Fox. People call me a highwayman, a bandit, an outlaw, a master thief. I'm becoming a bit of a legend in these parts. No one's been able to catch me, and the bounty on my head is, well, let's just say it's more valuable than everything that you're wearing, probably. No, why would I be scared? Of who? As if anyone is talented enough to catch me. No. I have nothing to fear. You, on the other hand, need to start undressing and handing me all of your valuables. Because I'm going to be relieving you of all of your riches. I hope that's okay with you. At the end of the day, you wanted to try and blend in with the common folk, and you clearly needed some outside assistance. What was that, pretty boy? I don't recall giving you an option. Need I remind you that I have a sword and you seem pretty unarmed? Unless you're some sort of sorcerer, but you don't seem the kind. I don't see any arcane focus or wands or anything like that. I get it. Yeah, I admit, I'm not the most intimidating fellow. I typically just quickly snatch people's things away, but I couldn't resist the opportunity to just gloat a little bit in front of you. A noble. Someone as highborn as yourself. I had to let you know who was stealing from you. And I wanted you to know it was me, so when you go back home, and when people ask you who stripped you of all your possessions, you tell them. You'll tell them. The Red Fox. Is that a hound? Okay, this way. No, don't even think about walking that way. I'm not having the guards and their hounds track me down. No, keep it moving. Sure that critter will pass soon. Luckily, I bought a potion from a alchemist. It's supposed to make you harder to track. Your scents makes you scentless. Did you notice? No? Exactly! I smell like absolutely nothing. And believe me, so many thieves have fumbled because they forget to take a wash. It's pretty embarrassing. I mean, can you imagine wearing perfectly tailored shoes to be as quiet as possible, light armor, moving sneakily with purpose, with every single step, and the reason you get caught is because of your armpits? Some body odor? Oh, that could never be me, could never be the Red Fox. But back to you. Now that we're off the path, and no one can interrupt our little intimate meeting here, it's time for you to start following my instructions. You don't seem to understand, pretty boy. You're already in trouble. And unless you do what I say, things might get a bit rough for you. Oh, what was that? You think that you think that you can make a deal with me? I think you're forgetting who holds all the cards here, and for the second time, or third, the sword. You seem to overestimate the power you have. Okay. And you really think that I would be afraid of some guards hunting me down after hurting a noble? As if I haven't robbed from tens of your kinds before. I have to give you credit. You are irritatingly making a good point. But still, what's stopping me from just taking what you have and leaving? I don't need to assist or help you. What treasure? You fancy yourself an adventurer? Is this some sort of joke? Wow, the noble pretty boy, wearing his fine silks and garbs, without a scratch on his perfect face. And you think that you can go into Kamaro Crypt and claim the treasure there? Of course you don't care about the treasure, so what's the reason you want to go there? Well, I would say it does matter if you're trying to recruit me. Oh. A scroll of resurrection? Listen, you don't need to tell me your life story. I understand. I've been embraced by the Lady of Loss. We don't need to talk about it. But if you're promising that there will be treasure in Kamaro Crypt, then perhaps I could accompany you, but we may need to find some other members for our little party here. No, you don't seem to understand yourself. Listen. Listen. I understand that you probably have a whole library of books in your home, and that you've been educated by the finest tutors in the kingdom. But I have something that you definitely don't, and that is called common knowledge. You know? I know how things work. I know what people talk about. And all the things that you'll read in your books about Kamaro Crypt, it's no longer like that. Those books were written decades ago. And things have gotten a lot worse. Firstly, there's a multitude of people who would love nothing more than to steal the treasure from whoever manages to actually make it through Kamaro Crypt. Secondly, the things in there they've bred. The creatures, the monsters, more things have moved in, more dangerous things, and the weaker things have been culled. Whatever you've seen in your books, I promise you is not going to be anything that you'll find in there. Not these days. Nobody even goes there anymore. Aside from the aforementioned treasure hunters and the desperates or foolhardy. So, if we're going there, we need to go and find some other capable travelers. And what exactly are your talents? Is it magic, swordsmanship? What are you actually providing? Are you just going to be some liability? Oh, interesting. So you are a practitioner of magic. Interesting. So I guess you're more than just a pretty boy. Well, if this is the deal that we are going to make, then how about we seal this with a kiss? Well, it was worth a try. And you can't blame me for trying. Let's go onward. We've got a lot to do and a lot of preparations to make if we're going to take on Kamaro Crypt. And not a second to waste.